May 28th, 2024. It is 6 p.m. Before we get started, I think we should thank Ms. Faye Brossi for her years of dedication to the City of Monroe and the Historic Preservation Commission. She will be missed. And we'd also like to welcome tonight our new member, Mr. Chuck Bradley. Thank you, Chuck, for being with us. We're going to appreciate you being with us. Thank you very much. We are going to do a roll call at this time. We're going to go around the room, and we'd like all members present to introduce themselves and speak into the microphone. And I'm going to start, and then we're going to start and then we're going to go to this end. I am Elizabeth Jones, the chair.
Mark Hammis.
Laura Powell.
Jane Camp.
And Chuck Bradley.
Next, we're going to allow the city staff to introduce themselves.
I'm Brad Callender, Planning and Zoning Director.
Laura Wilson, Code Administration.
And next on the agenda, we have an approval of the agenda. And I know we may have some changes. Laura, do we want to go ahead and ask if everybody's had a chance to look at it, or do we want to go ahead and hear what your thoughts are?
If I could, I'd like to propose moving an item up, 116 South Broad Street, if that could be moved to the first item under new business. The applicant that is here for that is also represents 208 South Broad Street, and I think it would be convenient for them if they could go back to back. But someone will have to make a motion for that change.
I think that makes sense to have the applicant with the same two items, to have those grouped together. That does make sense. Has everybody else has everybody here had a chance to look at the agenda? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the changes on the agenda?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. I guess, Laura, at this time, we probably just need to have everybody voice that approval, correct?
Right.
Okay. Can I have a motion, everybody's motion to approve? Can I have a recognition and a raise of your hand to approve that?
Approve.
All right, motion so carried. All right, now we're going to go on to the approval of the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes of this past month, April 2024? Oh, actually, no, we didn't. Yeah, okay. I'm sitting here going, which month did we last meet? Okay. And so have you had a chance to review those minutes? And Larry, you were not with us this past month, but Chuck. I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here looking at you, thinking of your daddy. But has everybody else had a chance to review those? And how do we actually address that? Can he vote on those?
So he would not vote for those minutes since he was not present at the meeting as part of the panel, so it would just be the four of you.
Okay. So have y'all all had a chance to review those?
I make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes.
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion's so carried. Okay, next on the agenda, we have the old business, 208 South Broad Street.
Yes, so if you'll remember last fall, I believe, the applicant came forward for some exterior renovations at 208 South Broad Street, which is the old Ford dealership in town. And as part of the approval process, because he's submitting for state historic tax credits and federal tax credits, if the state and federal level recommended any changes, that he would report back to you guys what those changes are. So that's simply what this item agenda is. And I'm going to go over briefly the recommended changes at the state level. So the first slide here shows what was previously approved last fall. And then here are the revised plan. Essentially, on the front facade here, the state wanted him to mimic more of the historic roll-up door. So there's gonna be some changes to the window and the door panels to make it look like a roll-up door from the early 20th century. There's gonna be some awnings on the north side of the building only, and they're only gonna cover the window openings. They won't extend beyond that. There's gonna be some painted signage on the building, approximately right there. I don't know if it's necessarily gonna say that, but the signage will be painted on the building. And then there's gonna be some replacement windows on the west elevation, since those windows are not historic, and they are gonna go for a 6/6 configuration for the window pattern. And then most of the other changes they recommended, or all of the other changes they recommended, either have to do with painting the brick in the windows and what color and what kind of paint to use, and then stuff inside, how to hide the mechanical and electrical equipment better, screening for some of the outside air conditioning units, whether or not to put new doors on the inside where there was a historic door, but we don't have the door, matching flooring. So things of that nature that don't really fall under your purview.
Okay, and you said we were not voting on this today? We're
No, it's just
going over
simply
Going over the
Going over the
changes.
changes, and
Okay.
then, Chad, did you want to come up and, I don't know if you have any questions for him about this, but he's here to answer any questions you may have.
Does anyone on the panel have questions about this? I know we wanted to be sure that, this was going according to what this, making sure this is everything that the state, might have questions about, or everything that was approved by the state. I think that's what we had gone over in our last meeting. We wanted to be, everything was up to par.
Right, and your approval from the last meeting included that you would approve anything that the state recommended.
Right.
Because their restrictions were tougher than ours.
These plans look great, by the way. I was looking at them earlier, and I was like, oh, I love them.
Yeah, y'all been working. That's,
They're wonderful. I mean, just, I love them.
Let me know if you have any questions.
I do not. I'm loving these plans. Does anybody else here have questions about the plans? I'm excited about this project.
Me too.
I'm happy. I'm happy about it. Yes, I think it's gonna look great.
Started in full force, so we will soon. So.
I think,
What is the business that'll be there?
What is the business? It's gonna be a brewery on the top floor, and the lower floor is speculative at this time. We don't have a tenant yet. Hoping for a restaurant, but haven't secured one yet.
good job.
thank you.
Okay, so you're up for this next one, aren't you? Okay, let me scroll down. Let's see, this is 116 South Broad? The exterior improvement, okay.
Yes, so our next item, first item of new business is 116 South Broad Street, which is the former police station in town. And he's gonna do some exterior renovations, most of which include doing some signage, basic maintenance of like rot repair and things like that. And then the biggest change is, it's really hard to see in this photo right here, but there are some historic windows, or what were windows, right here along this side. He is proposing to open those back up and put windows back in, as well as maybe add an extra door for egress purposes on the outside of the building.
These were ones that were already filled in before, and y'all are just taking out the infill and taking out, that's what it looked like to me. These were things that were,
That is correct. All of the windows on the south and the north side are openings that were already there that have been brick shut, and we're simply just gonna reopen them. You can see a historic photo there in the top right that shows the windows, and so we're trying to make every effort to,
you're going back to the original structure, you're doing a lot of rot
as much
repair.
as we can, yes.
This is impressive. Does
Can you
any,
get those cars too?
Ma'am?
We like those cars.
Yeah, I do too. If we can find them, I'd love to have them.
do y'all have any questions here on the panel? Have y'all had a chance to really look at this?
I'm excited about this
Yeah,
one too.
I mean,
Does any, go ahead.
Do you have any idea what is going to be used in this space?
Do not yet.
Okay, I looked in today. I was like, let me see. It's big. another big space.
Part of our, we purchased this from the city, which I'm sure you guys know. Part of our agreement was to demo the building first, the interior, which we've done. And then, you know, once we begin the construction work, I'm pretty confident we can secure a tenant pretty quickly.
Right.
Is this going to be a state project?
Not sure yet. Not sure,
But possibly.
possibly.
Okay, that's exciting. Did y'all, anybody else here have a question? Does anybody out here have a question for this project? No? Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve
Do I have a second?
as submitted.
I second.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you so much. We have a, motion carried. Do we need to formalize that? Okay. Can I get y'all to formalize that? Let me, Laura, can I get you to formalize that, the approval, or did you submit the initial one? Mm-hmm. Okay,
So I
can I
have-
get you to go ahead, Laura.
I have Mark saying, motion to approve as submitted, Jane as a second, and, did everybody vote?
Okay, so can I get you to formalize that, and when you say approval, can I get you to formalize as submitted, and then can I get the second to, it can just say second, but that's
I
fine,
make a motion to approve as submitted.
okay?
I second.
Okay, can I get, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you so much, we appreciate your time. All right, so let's see. Let's go to the next one on the agenda. Looks like I've got 716 East Church Street. No, that's not correct, because we moved one, so let me go back up. I have 244 Boulevard.
So the applicant is not here for 244 Boulevard.
Okay?
Um,
So then I was correct, so then we're gonna, but we do need to make a motion on that, then, if they're not here.
Right, I don't know if you want to wait to the end of the meeting to see if they show up, or if you want.
Let's wait a little bit, we'll go back to that one, they may show up. So let's go to 716 East Church Street, Storage Building. Is someone here for that one? Okay,
All right, so I'll give a little brief overview of your project. So, 716 East Church Street is in the East Church Street Historic District. The house is located on the corner of East Church and Pine Park. This is the house here. There is an existing storage, or the pavilion in the yard already. That's this structure back here. This is where it is on the drawing. And he is requesting to build another storage building kind of right behind it on a pre-existing concrete pad. So this is what the pre-existing pavilion looks like. He is proposing to build something very similar in design to that next to it. There's a large 6-foot fence that jumps to an 8-foot privacy fence along Pine Park. So it's visible a little bit from the Pine Park side. In this photo, like right here, you can see the sea and the sea, but there's already screening there. And so,
you're just wanting to elongate it a little bit? Is that what you're wanting to do? Take the one that's there and make it a little bit bigger?
Kind of. It'll be a storage garage, basically. But we'll attach it with a small breezeway in between.
Okay.
Because the parking pad that I had poured has footers. I poured it very close to that because I thought I was just going to park an RV on it.
Okay.
Now I want to frame it in, so we will attach it with a small breezeway between the two.
Are you gonna do it like sort of the Craftsman style?
Yeah, it'll look exactly like that, same as the house. So
Okay.
cedar siding, same trim work, same everything, yeah.
It's nice. Well constructed. Do we have any questions here? Do we have any questions? No? Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
We appreciate you. Okay, let's see here.
Our next item of business is a sign for 314 South Wayne Street.
We have someone here for 314 Wayne Street? Okay. Hi.
So several of the members may be familiar with this house because it was recently renovated, and there have been now 3 businesses, I believe, are located, and they would like a sign for their businesses. This is the sign they are proposing. It's 8 feet tall, 7 feet wide, and it's going to go approximately, I believe, halfway in the yard between South Wayne and the front of the house. If you could state your name for the record and then talk about the project.
Brittany Holcomb.
And Gina DeResta.
So the plan was to remove or move the mailbox down a little bit. We just put that mailbox up. The postmaster said we could have it anywhere along that road, so we were gonna move the mailbox up a bit and put the sign, basically in line parallel to where that sits now, back.
Okay, before I ask the panel if they have any questions, I do want to read something from our preservation primer about the signage, and it states that because, it's from page 50, and it states that because adaptive use of homes in historic residential districts is encouraged, guidelines regarding proper signage for these businesses and offices is necessary. Signage should be subordinate to the architecture of the building and sized for legibility at a reasonable distance. An appropriate location for signage in a residential area is in the front yard where it does not distract from architecture and the integrity of the house. The sign itself should be in proper proportion to the historic structure and not overwhelm it. So I think that we are a little concerned, you know, about the proportion, you know, and the distance of the sign to the house. And, you know, we are wondering if you might take the sign, you know, down a little bit, if that would be,
I mean, ideally, we would just like to be told what we need to do. And
okay. If that might be a discussion.
right now, I don't know if anybody's drove by, but we have little signs in the yard that look.
Right, and
Give it some permanence, right, yes, ma'am.
I know you want to attract you know, you want to attract business, and you do need signs to do that. We totally understand that.
Our mock-up came from, I called Alcobie Signs and said, hey, whatever you've used before that worked in past, do that.
We love Alcobie signs. We like local, you know, that's a good local business.
It doesn't matter to me what the sign looks like or what the size is.
Do we have some thoughts from the panel?
There are a couple on, between Madison and, well, again, the street Millage, sorry, Madison and Millage, there are a few businesses right there that have lower signs. Something like that might be a good influence. I don't know, I should have taken some photos so that I could show that. But those could be good. Just not as overwhelming.
Like, if you, because, you know, we have to approve fences, for instance, like in the front of a home. And, you know, some people try to go really large when the house is close to the road, and it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't work. And so I feel like, one, I'm real excited that y'all are there and that this has been renovated, but it's close to the road, in my opinion. So an 8-foot fence or 8-foot sign just seems too large for that space. I really like the sign. I think it's well done. I just think it needs to come down in size, and I don't.
What size, in your opinion, does it need to come down to?
I mean, even 6 foot seems large
Yeah.
in that space. So I don't know what y'all think, but
For some perspective, the signs in front of the businesses and houses along North Broad range between 4 and 5 feet tall.
So, right, 4 or 5 feet, between 4 and 5 feet.
You can even keep the scale with the, you know, the businesses.
Yeah.
Obviously, the coffee shop, I feel like, is kind of the main highlight, but
Even if the width, is larger, the height, it'd be, nice to have a lower height. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, it could be 7 by 4 or something. I'm not saying you need that size, but I'm saying it could be, you know, it just need, I
I
think
really like the sign.
height is
It's easy.
It's easy to read. I know it's like people come
Right.
around, tear around that corner, so they'll see it.
Yeah, and Laura, you know, maybe we could look at, we don't have to vote on this today. We could put it off and, you know, to the next meeting and look at some more prototypes, you know, if that's better for them. You know, if y'all want to, who's helping you at Alcovy? Is it Daniel or? Okay, I work with Daniel a lot. He does a lot of signs for me. If you want to get some prototypes and send them over to us and like we could look at some things.
Can you just tell, are y'all able to just say, hey, do this 5 foot, and we just do it 5 foot?
So if you want to keep this design but agree to make it no taller than 5 feet, we can approve it today.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that, yeah,
Yeah.
if that's better for you.
That would be great.
The same sign.
That way you don't have to wait.
Reduce the proportions of the sign.
Yeah, like we could do
Get
that.
the same
If it's 5
appearance
foot,
and look.
okay. Are y'all okay with that?
Yeah.
5 foot?
Tall and 4.
Maximum.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll make a motion to approve with the caveat.
Hold,
Or do I have to wait?
Hold on, just 1 second. We need to see, do we have any questions? I need to see if we have any questions from out here. Do we have any questions from out here? No? Okay. All right, now let's go ahead.
Motion to approve with the caveat that it can be no higher than 5 feet.
Okay, do I have a second?
And no wider than 4.
And no no wider than 4, so 5 by 4 maximum.
I have a second. I mean, I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay? Motion carried. Thank you so much for
you.
coming
Thank you
in.
both.
We
Look forward
appreciate
to
your
going
time.
in.
Go with the total dimension.
Thank you.
Because I would only measure the face of the sign, which,
All right.
we're good. That's what, everything's moving along.
All right, moving on along. Let's see. So let's go back up the list here. We've got, do I have someone here for 244 Boulevard for the fencing? Did I have anybody come in for 244 Boulevard?
Yes. Ah, okay. Right, I
I
think
mean,
we
you
had,
guys can hear it if you want to.
I think there was some
It's up to your
question.
purview.
It might be in
About
their best interest for us to postpone that one until
That's right.
next month.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
Yes.
I hate that for them.
Don't you think,
Right.
Laura?
yeah, I think it would be best to postpone it.
Okay, so for 244 Boulevard with the fencing, since we don't have someone here, and I do appreciate you for saying you would speak on them, but it just might be in their best interest. And if you want to stick around for a minute on that one. Let's vote on that, just to postpone it. What's the date on next month? Let's see, when that next. That's gonna be one,
June
two-
25th.
Yeah, okay. So let's vote. So we need a motion to carry that, we need a motion to carry the request for 244 Boulevard fencing to June 25th. Do I have a motion to carry that to June 25th?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so moved. Thank you so much. All right, so let's see. Next on the agenda.
So,
Laura, do we have anything else?
oh, we do not have anything else for the formal meeting, if you'd like to call for an adjournment.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so moved.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We are now adjourned. This concludes the HPC meeting of May 28th, 2024. We are adjourned.